Your basic burrito. Eating was never really a problem for me. I have just not been that interested in food. Like most American citizens, I get in the four major food groups: Cokes, candy, fried stuff, and fast food. But my appetite has always been accepting of small portions of flavorless foods until I met marijuana. Now I have a regular 3 servings of Ben and Jerry's before bed. From my earliest memories until middle school, my Thanksgiving meal looked quite different from everyone else's, and in fact, exactly like the rest of my meals growing up: bean and cheese burritos. No veggies, no salsa, not yet. At Thanksgiving, my sweetheart s'mores giving grandmother would prepare beans, tortillas, and a bowl of shredded cheese. This was back when you shredded your own cheddar, just for me. And she cooked a mean Thanksgiving meal. We're still trying to replace or replicate her dressing. We have the recipe, but it never turns out like Mary's. My favorite restaurant was this mom and pop Mexican food place down the road from our house. We would go there a couple nights a week. Before we, American citizens, ate out 10 meals per week. Each year, my brother and I could pick our favorite restaurant, regardless of price, to celebrate our birthday dinners. My older brother loves seafood. For his birthday, he would choose Red Lobster, and he would order the lobster. Sparing no expense, he would get the proverbial bang for our parents' buck on his birthday. On the other hand, I knew what I liked, and my birthday was not about to change that. Regardless of price, for my birthday, I would choose roses. The mom and pop Mexican usual, the school special. 4 bean and cheese burritos for $4. My brother still gets mad about this. He was not a burrito fan at the time, and to him, this was a wasted opportunity for both of us. But I was a simple eater, 365 days a year, every year. This fella is some kind of arrogant to write this book. First he tells us how running a 50-miler is a failure. Now he's trying to be an expert on dieting when he doesn't seem to have taste buds or a stomach more substantial than a tin can. A Frijoles tin can. We will not be talking about dieting exactly, because dieting is a fake term a marketer made up. We will, however, keep talking about chains, because it is a more objective term that a scientist made up. And I am hoping it might be a better way to think of all behavior, including eating. So pretending this is a steamy, greasy plate of enchiladas, let's dive in! I wake up shortly after 6 a.m., and instead of attempting to jump out of bed and cure the world of dieting right away, I roll over and turn on an audiobook. It's such a pleasant way to transition from samadhi to work. Then I feed all the hounds, drink my coffee, and say something witty to the youngest on the couch. Then I come in here and write. Believe it or not, writing has become part of my morning chain. The fucking guy. He's talking about building his chains, but it's obvious he has already finished this book. He is probably worse than a fake word-making marketer. He is perhaps a artist writer who has a fake word-making marketer in his pocket. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Let's get a few things straight before I lay the smack down on eating chains. Number 1, I am a artist. Number 2, I hate writing. It makes me feel like the dumbest 8-year-old in the Zoom online classroom. The one who still cannot figure out when to use a period, comma, question mark, or exclamation point. For instance, I found out that this book should have more commas before the and. This was new to me. I think of my English classes during my school years the same way other people refer to their Spanish or Latin courses. A writer? Me? Nah. Well, I did take English in high school, but I haven't used it since. Number 3, when I am boasting about building my chains, which, by the way, this more bit of a chain is only on day 1. And the other day, previous chapter, when I was crying about my doer girlfriend accomplishing while I was pouting, remember that? Remember me being all sappy and inspiring? Yeah, that was last Saturday. Today is Thursday. I'm nobody's hero. Not yet. Number 4, this book, while I type these words, has not yet been written. Might not ever be written. And maybe I stopped writing after today. Tried my hand at flying from the Golden Gate Bridge. Maybe I did that. Then my friends pulled their money together and had a ghostwriter finish this book. A savvy, doer writer. It's entirely possible. Number 5, but whatever. This word right here. I just typed that. And I continue to type because something in me is saying that this will work. Not selling millions of books, starting a pseudo-philosophical podcast, and broing out with Timothy and Holiday. By this will work out, I mean I will get my shit together by learning to build the chains I want and break the chains I don't. Okay, where were we? Oh, yes. You and eating. Kidding. This is not about anyone and eating. It is about eating as a link in a chain. So I'm getting on with my morning chain, which does not include food. In human science land, we call this the not eating deprivation. It could be not doing other things for a while, but let's continue with eating. This deprivation process builds motivation. Not having something for a long time makes that something more valuable. Think of a dry, scaly man wandering through the desert. I know, disgusting. He's probably a procrastinator. And that's what likely got him stranded in the desert in the first place, procrastinating, being somewhere. Do you think this guy's looking for money or sex out there in the Sahara? Nope. There's only one thing on his mind, and he would do anything to get it. Water. And I would do anything to get some water in this hot garage recording studio. Whew. Wish I could turn the air on, but it makes a sound in the background, and it's not very professional to have on an audiobook. After moving along the trails for 15 plus hours, it is hard to get enough water to nourish the body adequately. And when I finally get my hands on water or Gatorade, it tastes magical. Deprivation does this. I will not break fast today. I will be deprived of food long enough for food to increase considerably in value. So valuable, I will likely go on a temporary food frenzy in the early afternoon. And I will spend too much money on something that will be denser in calories than I need. Yesterday, it was too much Chick-fil-A. Likely Taco Bell today, but I cannot say for sure. I'm not yet deprived enough to speak for that crazy man who will be out there on the loose, ferociously seeking food. Herein lies the problem with deprivation. I will no longer be thinking clearly when I decide spending $15 for fast food lunch is a pretty good idea. But I must feed the deprivation monster. He doesn't like being ignored. In a sense, the links in my eating chain are too spread out. Some of my good friends in the local trail running community have solved this problem. They design a food eating chain that starts at the beginning of the week or the night before a new eating day begins. They prepare in advance to stay satiated on calories, so their deprivation monster never rears its ugly head. Literally, they prep food. Preppers. Food prepping fits our chain formula. The first link is the preparation. They plan the food they will need to sufficiently nourish their bodies, give them energy, and create a wanting food system equal to that of my 6-year-old basic eating burrito self. Then they portion these links throughout the upcoming days or week. Sure, their food is tasty and may include some of the typical American food groups listed above. Still, the links they build prevent the value of food from ever increasing into a point where they dive headfirst into a buffet. The cue for their eating behavior could be a protein bar they keep with them, a container of pre-made, portioned out chicken and potatoes, and eating each portion reinforces the prepping chain's links. You do not have to subscribe to the super healthy food prep system the dieters want you to purchase. It could be some preheated frozen taquitos portioned throughout your day, so you don't find yourself in the Taco Bell 20-car pileup at high noon 30. When it comes to behavior eating chains, you are what you build. If you don't build the appropriate eating links into your day, the calories will come. All of them. Likely all at once. They will come. So don't be like the Joneses at the corral buffet feeding the monster. Instead, build strong, lasting chains of prepared links that will proactively take you from one little food eating sesh to the next without ever valuing food so much that the average weekly meal becomes a birthday meal at Red Lobster. This message has been brought to you by your friends over at Timothy Holiday and Associates Incorporated. Scorecard: Burritos 1, Red Lobsters 0. The Daily Chain. It was a simple set of maneuvers he had learned years ago. Opening the new record player, one he had received as a Christmas gift, he now thought back to how the process worked. He remembered he needed to get the record spinning before putting the needle down. But what is this lever thingy that lifts the needle arm? Oh, okay. It's so you don't drop the needle on the record. After playing through 2 records, the chain was set. He set a new chain record. No thinking required, just trial and error. Initial cue: the record player. Chain: put the record on, turn power on, pull lever arm up, gently push lever over the record, push lever arm down, adjust the volume. Terminal reinforcer. Towns sounds.